This video is presented by Rocky Road Merch. Click the top link in the description to explore our exclusive collection. Grab yours now.
If you're a young person, it's important to find marriage role models. Older couples who have been together for a while, navigated many of the sorts of challenges that you are facing or will face, and have maintained and strengthened their bond through it all. It's important to find people like this, and hopefully your own parents can provide that example. If not them, then maybe another relative or a friend or someone else. Unfortunately, there aren't many public figures who can fill this role for you. If you're looking for a roadmap to a healthy marriage, the celebrity community isn't the place to find it, but they can still be of some help. You know, there aren't many people in public life who can serve as positive role models for married couples, but there are plenty who can be negative role models. They can show you, they can't show you which way to go, but they can show you which way you should not go. You can observe them and how they behave and endeavor to do the opposite of whatever they're doing. When it comes to negative role models, the good news and also the bad news is that the supply is endless. But perhaps there is no famous married couple on earth that has been more helpful in this regard than Will and Jada Smith. That's with all due respect to Prince Harry and Meghan and John and Giselle Fetterman and Kim Kardashian and whoever she's married to this month. Will and Jada are without a doubt the greatest negative marriage example you could ever hope to find. If you want a happy and healthy marriage, all you really have to do is just do nothing that Will and Jada do and everything they don't do. They're like a lighthouse in a storm, except you always want to go the opposite direction from wherever this lighthouse is pointing. That brings us to the latest in the Will and Jada horror story. The couple has made it back into the news this week, with Jada now on the interview circuit to promote her upcoming memoir, which is called Worthy. I don't know who would ever purchase a Jada Pinkett Smith memoir, but I do know that if I was in charge, I would keep a database of everyone who purchases the book, and I would immediately and permanently revoke their voting rights. These are the kinds of fresh ideas we need in Washington, but we're not getting, but that's a topic for another day. In any case, Jada made a personal announcement in her memoir, which came out in her interview with NBC this week. Watch.
There are so many surprising things in the book, but the thing that surprised me the most, that I actually had to reread it because I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
right,
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
yes,
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
She can't even hide her glee. She's so happy about it. She's so happy about having being estranged from her husband. Now, first of all, someone needs to tell the interviewer that we don't need the clapping sound effects while she's asking questions. But as for Jada, she goes on to explain that she's living a completely separate life from Will and that they split up in 2016 because they were exhausted from trying. The words of a true hero. This revelation is especially humiliating for Will Smith because everyone immediately drew the connection to the slap heard around the world. And now we know that Will not only embarrassed himself in a desperate attempt to impress his wife, but that he did all this for a woman who'd left him 5 years earlier. Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth, he famously declared, but apparently that woman doesn't really consider herself to be his wife. Jada, could have kept their unique marital arrangement to herself, shielding Will from further embarrassment. But then again, she has a memoir to sell, so she decided to keep the separation a secret until she figured out a way to monetize it. Of course, this is just the latest in a long line of ritual public humiliations Jada has subjected her estranged husband to. There was another one very recently when she posted an Instagram video of her and Tupac in the 90s dancing to Will Smith's song, Parents Just Don't Understand. And it's well known that Jada still pines for her deceased lover, Tupac. So this was seen by many, accurately, I think, as a not so subtle dig at the man that she is still technically married to. And, that's what she does. She finds little ways to twist the knife. It's her specialty. There's, for example, this video from a few years ago where she decides to film herself not respecting Will or his boundaries. Watch.
Esther Perel is coming to the table. She's going to be at the red table. Would you say she has been instrumental in you and I redefining our relationship?
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me.
Oh, my goodness.
If you could film me.
Esther, come help us again, please. I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Don't. No, because she don't just
Would you say that she helped us heal the hurts that we caused between one another?
My social media presence is my bread and butter, okay? So you can't just use me for social media and not, don't just start rolling. I'm standing in my house. Don't just start rolling.
That's pretty rough to watch. I think for obvious reasons. I will say, I can't imagine, my own wife, I'm just trying to imagine my own wife, first of all, filming me without even asking me first. She wouldn't do that. But then if she started filming me and I said, please don't film me, and she did it anyway, and then she posted it on the internet, I would be furious. Fortunately, I'm not married to a woman who would ever do that, but this is Jada Pinkett Smith. And pretty rough, but of course, nothing, since we're on the subject, we cannot avoid what is possibly one of the cringiest videos of all time. Nothing can possibly compare to the infamous Red Table Talk where Jada pulled Will in to have a conversation about the time when she cheated on him. Let's all relive that cringe together.
You, during that time, launched into an interaction with August. What do you feel like you were looking for?
I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long since I felt good.
Right.
And it was really a joy to just help heal somebody.
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with my codependency, which is another thing that I had to learn to break in this cycle. Just that idea of needing to fix and being drawn to people that need help, whether it's your health or whether it's your addictions. There's something about that childhood trauma that feels as though it can be fixed through fixing people.
Man, still tough to watch every time. I mean, imagine your wife cheats on you and you say to her, how could you do this? I'm broken, I'm devastated. And she says, well, I just wanted to feel good. Oh, okay. Well, if that was your reason, but I wasn't sure what your reason was, but if it was that, then never mind. And that was actually somehow the least cringy segment of that video, but the whole thing is brutal. The cuckolded Will Smith describes his wife's affair as launching into an interaction. Why did you launch into an interaction with that man? And for her part, his wife shows no remorse and in fact congratulates herself on her infidelity by claiming that she slept with another man in order to help heal him. Then to add another terrible insult to an already grievous injury, she declares that it makes her feel good to fix people. Yet her own husband is sitting there broken into 1,000 pieces. And all this frustration would build for several years until the moment when Will set his career on fire by taking it all out on Chris Rock at the Oscars. Jada, meanwhile, sits there and watches, making no attempt to stop him from walking up on stage to commit assault in front of a live audience, and also makes no attempt after the fact to defend him or come to his aid in any way. She is, in short, as I've already dubbed her, the worst wife in America, and Will Smith is without question the most pathetic husband in America, which is a sad reality, especially when you consider that before his wife got to work exposing and humiliating him, Will Smith was, it's easy to forget now, he was perhaps the most polished, clean-cut, marketable, seemingly together star in Hollywood. Now he's a laughingstock thanks to his wife. People always say, happy dog, happy life. It's the mantra I live by. And, if it's really the case, you need to be giving your dog Rough Greens. Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, the founder of Rough Greens, is focused on improving the health of every dog in America. And before I started feeding my dog Rough Greens, I had no idea that dog food is dead food. It contains very little nutritional value. Think about it. Nutrition isn't brown, it's green. Let Rough Greens bring your dog's food back to life. Rough Greens is a supplement that contains all the necessary vitamins, minerals, probiotics, omega oils, digestive enzymes, and antioxidants that your dog needs. You don't need to go out and buy new dog food. You just sprinkle Rough Greens on their food every day. Dog owners everywhere are raving about Rough Greens. It supports healthy joints, improves bad breath, boosts energy levels, and so much more. We are wheat, and that goes for dogs too. Dr. Dennis Black is so confident Rough Greens will improve your dog's health. He's offering my listeners a free Jumpstart trial bag so your dog can try it. A free Jumpstart trial bag can be at your door in just a few business days. Go to roughgreens.com/Matt or call 844-ROUGH-700. That's ruffgreens.com/Matt or call 844-ROUGH-700 today. A good wife builds her man up. A bad one breaks him down. And Will Smith is nothing at this point if not broken down. And that's why they are such a powerful, albeit negative example. They reveal pretty much every facet of a bad relationship. They embody everything that a married couple can do wrong. And they model one thing in particular, and that is the need for respect in a marriage, especially a man's need for respect. Jada has clearly never respected her husband, and he has never demanded respect or commanded it, most of all. And the end result is heartache and humiliation. When a man feels respected at home, he'll be happy and confident and eager and ambitious. He'll want to go out and conquer the world because he feels like his wife respects him and is proud of him. You cannot put a price on that. It's impossible to describe just how important that is to a man and what it can do for him. Now, when he's deprived of that respect, it's likely to make him frustrated, temperamental, sullen, all the other things that Will Smith has become. In fact, the decline of his career and his public image precisely tracks with the decline of his marriage. The more disrespected he was by his wife, the less respectable he became. This is the way it works. The more a man is respected, the more respectable he becomes. And the less, then the less. The good news is that it's usually pretty easy to avoid marrying a woman who doesn't respect you. All you have to do is not marry a woman who doesn't respect you, okay? It is that simple most of the time. It's possible, now it is possible that a woman might hide her inner Jada. She might present herself as wholesome, affectionate, respectful, supportive, and when she's not. But most people, most women and most people in general, don't have those talents of deception. Like Jada Pinkett Smith doesn't. I saw one clip of her and I knew everything I needed to know about her. 30 seconds is all it takes. It's hard to believe that Will didn't know. There are almost always red flags like this. And most of the time they're obvious. For example, you see this kind of thing all the time for people. If you're dating someone and that person ever does or says anything in public to intentionally make you look bad. Okay, we're not talking about just playful teasing back and forth. I'm talking about they're trying to make you look bad. They're trying to actually embarrass you. If that ever happens, that is a glaring siren telling you to leave the relationship. Like if you're a day before getting married and that happens, leave immediately. You dodged a bullet. Because the propensity to publicly belittle and disrespect you will only get worse, not better. And your woman's instinct is completely backwards of what it should be. Her instinct should be to cover you, to prop you up, to show that she's proud of you. If someone complains about you to her, she should want to defend you, not join in. A woman should brag about the man that she's with, not deliberately try to make him seem lesser in the eyes of the public. As I've said before, my wife's supportive nature was obvious to me almost from the moment I met her. And it hasn't changed in 12 years. And I'd be willing to bet a lot of money that Jada's unsupportive, resentful nature, her propensity to humiliate the people she supposedly loves, I'd be willing to bet that that was all obvious, okay, to any person with eyes and ears from the moment Will met her. He ignored those warning signs, and now look at him. This is what happens. And it's why both Will and Jada Smith are today canceled. Hey, YouTube, thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like access to my full show with no ads, you should go to dailywire.com and use promo code Walsh to get 2 months free on all annual plans. See you there.